Hello, and welcome to Agile Cheetah. I'm Frank Velazquez. I explain Agile and DevOps concepts so you can successfully apply them within your team or across your organization. If you want to improve how your organization develops software, manages software systems development, or fosters organizational agility, you've come to the right place. Sounds like what you're looking for? Then please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. In this video, I explain what a work breakdown structure, or WBS, is. Why is a channel devoted to Agile and DevOps talking about an artifact from traditional project management? Because many of you are implementing Agile-based approaches, such as Scrum, in organizations that apply traditional project management practices to software development projects. Some of you are in the unfortunate position of working in hybrid Agile or Agilefall projects where development teams scrum while everyone else in the organization continues to work in the same old ways. Such organizations tend to subvert or corrupt Agile practices by applying them with a traditional project management bias. One of the biggest cultural stumbling blocks in adopting Agile is the difference between how traditional project management and Agile treat project scope. This is best exemplified by the differences between the WBS and Scrum's concept of the product backlog. This is a big topic for a single YouTube video, so I am focusing on explaining the WBS and covering product backlogs and how both artifacts differ from each other in future videos, which I will link to this video as I post them. All right, let's jump right into the topic. A WBS is a planning tool that helps identify, document, and present the total scope of a project. Scope is one of the three project management constraints colloquially known as the iron triangle. The iron triangle represents how scope, schedule, and level of effort or resources act as mutually dependent project constraints. Project scope is the sum total of the features or functionality that project deliverables or the solution will include. There is a direct tie between how much stuff software development teams develop and the amount of work they perform. The more stuff is delivered, the more work is performed. Resources are the things needed to support development work, including project staff. Since we have to pay for those resources, this easily translates into project cost and budget. Schedule is the amount of time project planners allocate to completing project deliverables. Schedules are based on estimates of how long it will take to complete project tasks based on planned scope and resources. Schedules organize work and deliverables based on dependencies between project tasks. In other words, some tasks need to be done before others, and between the deliverables themselves. Some deliverables need to be in place before others. Traditional project management attempts to predict most, if not the entire project scope prior to project execution. Later, planners estimate the level of effort needed to complete planned tasks and deliverables and build a project schedule based on those estimates. The resulting three values feed calculation of project cost. Next, let's go over the structure of a WBS. A WBS is most often depicted as a hierarchical tree. Every node in the tree is called an element. Depending on the type of WBS hierarchy created, project scope may be organized in terms of project or program activities necessary to deliver deliverables, commonly referred to as verb-oriented, product components that make up a deliverable, commonly referred to as noun-oriented, time-bound phases of the project plan, or a mix of the previous three types. The root of the tree, WBS level 1, represents the entire scope of the project or product deliverable. From there, the main branches or elements of the tree, WBS level 2, are structured as one of the four types of WBS hierarchies I just named. The tree expands as higher level elements are decomposed into smaller constituent elements or components. Each element represents 100% of planned work and deliverables for that element. Child elements collectively represent 100% of the scope, represented by their parent. Decomposing across elements just enough to help project scope definition without overspecifying the project or solution, while accounting for the entirety of the project scope, is an art honed by experience. At the lowest level of each branch of the WBS hierarchy are work packages. Work packages map project scope, deliverables, and activities to project schedule. A work package includes scheduled activities and milestones needed to complete the associated deliverable or work element/component. In turn, control accounts map work packages to project budget, facilitate the roll-up of activities and milestones into an integrated schedule, and allow planners to assign specific resources, such as people, to specific elements of the WBS hierarchy. Another artifact that ties the scope represented by the WBS to project schedule and resources is the WBS Dictionary. The third edition of the PMBOK Guide defines a WBS dictionary as a document that describes each component in the WBS. For each WBS component, the WBS dictionary includes a brief description of the scope or statement of work, defined deliverables, a list of associated activities, and a list of milestones. The WBS dictionary for this example may look something like this. Let's delve a little deeper into the different types of WBS hierarchies. A project scope WBS decomposes the project work or activities necessary to produce deliverables or products. The first word of each WBS element name is a verb, such as design, develop, test, etc. The project is organized by software development lifecycle phases, such as define, design, develop, and integrate and test, and includes the project management work necessary to orchestrate the work. A product scope WBS defines project work in terms of the components, physical or functional, that make up a deliverable or product. In this case, the first word of each WBS name is a noun, such as Module A, Subsystem B, Aircraft Engine, Fuselage, etc. Since each element represents a part of the overall product, this WBS is sometimes called a Product Breakdown Structure, or PBS. Large-scale projects can take years to complete. In such cases, it is reasonable and advisable to break up project scope and schedule into discrete phases. A time phase WBS breaks up the project into major phases instead of activities. Rather than planning the entire project up front, planners follow a rolling wave planning approach in which they plan the upcoming phases in detail while postponing detailed planning for later phases. Rolling wave planning affords the opportunity to improve current plans based on lessons learned in earlier phases. It also provides a measure of flexibility to deal with changing project realities. Elements from the three other WBS types can be combined to create a hybrid WBS. Defense materiel project planners often use this type of WBS. Such projects tend to be long-lived, so time phase branches may be included. Product-based branches scope complex products or deliverables. For activities that map to specific activity phases, for example, SDLC phases, project scope elements are appropriate. A hybrid WBS may include project or program activities outside the scope of creating physical or functional product components or managing their creation. Examples of such activities include training, operations and maintenance, and facilities management. This table summarizes the WBS hierarchy types. On the left-hand side, we start off with the project scope or verb-oriented WBS. This type of WBS decomposes work or activities that produce a deliverable or product. Each WBS element name starts with a verb. The next WBS hierarchy type is the product scope or noun-oriented WBS. It defines work in terms of deliverable or product components. It is also known as a product breakdown structure, or PBS. Next is the time phase WBS hierarchy type. It is for large-scale, long-lived projects. It helps organize project scope and schedule into discrete time phases rather than activities. Thus, it supports rolling wave planning. Finally, we have the hybrid WBS hierarchy type. It includes elements from the three other WBS types. It is frequently used in defense material projects, and it often includes project or program activities not directly related to creating deliverables or managing their creation. I hope that this video improves your understanding of the WBS specifically and traditional project management scope in general. Organizations rooted in traditional project management thinking do not change overnight to an agile approach. Leading change towards greater organizational agility requires agilists to understand the unexplored assumptions and biases rooted in traditional project management that so often stifle progress. That's it for this video. I want to hear from your experiences. Leave a comment and share your thoughts. Want to learn more? Head to the Agile Cheetah website at agilecheetah.com for in-depth research articles on all things Agile and DevOps. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Again, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please click on the link icon, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell notification icon to ensure you won't miss anything. Thank you. Until next time, this has been Frank Velazquez with Agile Cheetah.